Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Dan.
Welcome to the Board Game Rundown. We're back.
Yep, finally.
After a little break for quarantine, we're trying to, honor and respect the, social distancing and everything. So, but I've really missed doing the show.
Yeah.
Glad to be back. We're going to be back on the regular now, assuming everything stays good.
Sure.
So, first off, we'll start with some Kickstarters.
Sure.
We'll do some news, and then we'll bandy around some topics to discuss.
I think mathematically you have more than me, so you go first.
Okay. Well, I'm going to briefly on Kickstarter, first one, talk about just Frosthaven.
Sure.
Okay. Sequel to Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is immensely popular. I own a copy. Have yet to really sink my teeth in and get into it because I'm so paranoid about playing it wrong. Because it's really dense.
Uh-huh.
It's not hard. It's just kind of dense.
And I'm sure you know some people who've played it, though.
Oh, yeah. We've got friends. Yeah. Bob, who has been on the show many times, has gone through hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, and Levi's done too much
as
well.
And he's done it with Bob. So
okay.
Both guests on the show, right? But Gloomhaven, it's an amazing game. My issue is I get so nervous because it's a legacy game.
Sure.
That if I play stuff wrong early, that it's going to jack everything up
whole
later.
Experience.
And I've been told by many people, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Just play.
It's almost part of the world.
And so now that I've come to accept that that's going to be okay to do, then we got told to stay home for a month. So I have not been able to.
Yeah. I mean, it's a one-player game, Tim. Just saying.
It can be, but I've been playing other one-player games.
I have only played Gloomhaven a couple times, and it just feels like too much to me.
Sure.
I love it. It's well made, and I was like, this is cool. But at the end of the day, do I really want to sit down and do such a huge endeavor for that long? I just don't know.
I think if you got in with a good couple of people, I wouldn't go crazy with the player count just because it would take that much longer. Sure. Unless you just love super long play sessions, which I prefer. If you can get it in 2 hours.
Sure. Depends on the game, right? I'll play Twilight Imperium for 6 hours.
But Twilight Imperium, you're signing up for that.
Yeah.
But Gloomhaven, I think if you got in with the right group and you get a few missions in, you're really going to start to hit that sweet spot, right? Because you're building your character, you're developing your character. You're going to get excited and invested. So Frosthaven, really more of the same. Yeah. Over $13 million in money in the Kickstarter. And the funny thing about that number, I was thinking about it because I backed it, but I backed it at $1.
Oh,
because then I can decide, when they open the pledge manager.
You just follow it when you do that, right?
Right.
You're accepted.
And you're in the pledge manager. Yeah. So when the pledge manager opens up, or even you wait till the last minute before it closes, guilty sometimes, you go, oh no, I'm going to drop $100 on this bad boy. So that's where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So. But if you look and you see, I don't remember the exact number, but there's usually 1,000 plus people that have only backed at $1.
Yeah.
So it's only made 13 million or over 13 million only. Now, once all of those dollar backers actually put money in and buy the thing, buy the game itself, that number is going to go way up. So 13 million is even under what it actually is going to be, which is pretty amazing because I've noticed during the quarantine and during this period of time right now, a lot of Kickstarters are not doing what they originally were projected to do. So
I guess because people are holding on to money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the market, even the industry has been affected in that way. But Frosthaven was just too big.
Yeah.
Too big to deny. Another big one that I am backing, Ankh by Simon.
Okay.
So it's the newest Eric Lang game.
How is that spelled?
Ankh.
Okay, I've seen it.
It's the loop and the cross, and it's like a T with the loop on the top. It's the Egyptian symbol.
Yeah.
So
I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's basically like the third in a trilogy for Eric Lang. Okay. So you have Blood Rage, Vikings, Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Feudal Japan, and now we have Egypt, and in Ankh, it's the culture is moving towards monotheism, right? Mm-hmm. So one god. Well, all these Egyptian gods are vying to be that one god. So you are playing as one of the gods trying to be superior by the end of the game.
Okay. Do you know how many it comes with?
Oh, no. So many.
Okay,
A ton.
I'm just wondering if they should go for all of them or if it's like here's the 5. In
No,
the
no,
base
no.
game.
There's like base games like 2 to 4 players, and there's like a 5 and 6 player expansion. Now I will tell you that Simon did the thing that I love and not the thing that I hate this time. So when they did that Marvel one with like the chibi
that
heroes,
game, yeah.
and you had to like add on, so it's like,
Yeah.
you get this game for $50.
Yeah.
But then you can buy this.
But
and
if
then
you get
can buy-
everything, it's actually 500.
Right, but they don't even have the pledge for like the 500. Right,
Yes,
they don't have the
gotcha.
pledge
You
for
have to do
everything.
add-ons.
You have to do the add-ons.
Yeah.
This one, it's just you've got 2 pledges.
Oh.
There's everything, or there's just the base game.
Okay.
So just the base game is $100,
Oh,
and you get
sure.
you get the base game, and you get all the extra minis, right? The Kickstarter minis that come with it. These miniatures are amazing.
Yeah.
They are so good. They're so pretty, and you get a ton of them. It is like literally a metric ton of plastic coming to your
literally.
house.
Cool.
And then if you spend
shipping.
like 220, I don't remember if it's 220 or 225, but if you spend that, you get everything. So you get all the expansions. There's
Okay.
like 3 or 4 expansions.
That's not as bad as I thought you were.
You even get like the upgrade kit, so it upgrades your cardboard chits and tokens to plastic,
Sure.
and gives you extra, some extra things like that, like
Mhm.
better player board kind of things. So anyways, they did exactly what I love
Yeah.
instead of what I hate, and they just give you like that. Here's this one-stop shop, right? Like boom, everything. I think the only thing you might need to add on is a playmat.
Sure.
I love playmats and I hate playmats.
Yeah.
Like they're really nice.
Yeah.
I hate storing them.
Yes. Amazing to play on. Everything else sucks.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And they've got it like dual sided. So one side has the expansions on it, and the other side is just the base game, which is kind of neat. So, anyways, Ankh is making a ton of money. It's almost up to $3 million, which is not Frosthaven money, but it's pretty dang good. And I'm excited. I like Eric Lang games. Rising Sun is amazing. Blood Rage is an evergreen game already. Rising Sun being a little more complex, a little crunchier than Blood Rage. It makes
Sounds
it
horrible.
it has less maybe mass appeal, but I love it. Like because there's a lot of politicking. So Blood Rage, right? Blood Rage is just territory control. You play
Yeah.
Blood Rage?
Yes, which is why I said that sounds terrible, because I am one of the few I really did not like Blood Rage.
See, I didn't like Blood Rage the first time I played
Okay,
it.
and I've only played it once. But I was
then-
just like, man, like I just feel like Lords of Hellas does it better, and like stuff like that.
So
you know?
and Lords of Hellas is so different.
It is different, but it just I felt after playing Blood Rage like this. There are other games that feel similar enough. That
Sure.
Why do I need this?
Sure.
You know, so that and the problem for me, right? Lords of Hellas came out after Blood Rage, I believe.
Oh yeah.
But I played Lords of Hellas first, so that probably ruined my. See, if I had played Blood Rage and it came out, that was more original. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
Versus
so
that.
Blood Rage, the first time I played it, I was like, I don't know. And then I played it again, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, this was pretty fun. And I just kind of started to, because Blood Rage has got some concepts you've just got to change your brain. Like, it's not bad to die in Blood Rage,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
So, I'm used to playing games where it's like, oh, I just lost all my guys. And it's like, no, that's actually kind of a good thing.
Oh, you
Maybe
mean
I'm-
like that amazing expansion for that one worker placement game about Vikings?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Haven't played
Oh, you
that
don't know
one.
what I'm talking
Haven't
about?
played
Okay.
that one.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's a game that I don't like that everybody else does. That's also Vikings.
Yep.
I think my other bias against Champions of Midgard, now that we're off the rails,
Yep.
is that at that time, that was like the 40th Viking game to come
Sure.
out.
It was like zombies. Where it was just
Yeah.
like dun, 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 dun,
It's
dun.
like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I used to love zombie stuff, and then I got kind of burned out on it. I'm like, whatever.
Sure.
But anyways, Rising Sun is more than just Blood Rage, right? It's like you're teaming up with one other player, and you're sharing abilities. And then you like Twilight Imperium.
Yep.
You basically are going to select an action you're going to do, and you get the better version,
Oh,
and
that
your
is one of my
teammate gets like
favorite game mechanics.
a weaker
I
version
love that.
of it. It's really good, man.
Like,
You got to play Rising Sun. You'll like it because it's different than Blood Rage.
Sure. When I first played Puerto Rico, I was like, oh, is this where they got it from? Like, I love that
Yeah,
mechanic.
Puerto Rico is like the great granddaddy of a bunch of
Yeah.
really good game mechanics. But so Ankh it looks different enough,
Sure.
right? But sort of still in the same vein, and again, Eric Lang, super solid game designer.
I did not know it was in that same trilogy. I've only seen the box. that interests me. I love that Egyptian stuff.
I love Egyptian stuff too.
So that interests me.
As a kid, I loved Egyptian mythology, and I loved Greek mythology, which is why Lords of Hellas was like, yes.
Well, it's like
more.
Greek mythology. Oh, also they're cyborgs.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where the cyborg part happened, but I'm glad it did.
Jeez, read a history book, too.
I know, right? Sorry. Chariots of the Gods, that's one, right? The aliens. So anyways, and the last Kickstarter I will hit on is a very popular game that I've never played, but it's because it's been out of print for a bunch of years. The guys just got the rights back to it a few years ago and are now putting it back out for a 10th anniversary edition, and that is Lords of Vegas.
Yeah.
So Lords of Vegas is like a super popular... I've only ever heard good things. I've never heard anybody say they don't like Lords of Vegas.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever heard is this game like needs remade with better components and stuff, right?
Right.
Like, that's the only thing I've ever heard.
And you're in luck because they have remade it with better components, but you're going to pay for it. So this one, they've got, you can just buy, it's cheaper, you can just buy like the new expansion, which is Underworld, where there's like mobsters in Vegas, which looks amusing, entertaining. Or you can get like the original out-of-print expansion, which is just called Up. I feel like you got to say it like that because it's got an exclamation point.
Oh, got it.
So,
yeah.
Up.
That makes sense.
Not just Up. And then, or you can get like, for $100, you can get the base game and all the expansions.
Okay. All being the 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
All being the 2. Or, if you want to, you could get this version of it that comes in it looks like a mobster's briefcase.
Okay.
It's got a slotted insert to hold everything for all the expansions and the promos and whatnot. Instead of paper money, it comes with poker chips.
Okay.
For the low price of $300.
Okay, hold on though. Lords of Vegas, a Vegas game, doesn't come with poker chips to begin with?
Well, so...
Just wondering.
Not to dog the idea behind that and paying as much, but I couldn't help but think, like, I've got a set of poker chips, like, just in my closet. Or you could roll out to any store.
They're, like, so cheap.
You could buy nice clay ones, right, for $20-$30, like a big set of them.
Exactly.
But, I mean, if this is your jam... and you want to drop them, because I drop stupid money on some games because they are my thing. So if you're really going to like,
and this seems like probably the right thing to do too, because like we were talking about, Lords of Vegas almost has like a cult following.
Oh, totally.
So that's the right thing to do. Like for all those collectors out there that are waiting for the remake, you want a remake? We got a remake.
We're going to bling this sucker out.
Yeah, it's understandable.
It looks cool. You know what I mean? It looks really neat. I think for me personally, because I have backed both Frosthaven and Ankh, that the Lords of Vegas, I'm going to wait for it. Now that it's going to be back in print, I'm just going to pick up a copy of my game store when it comes out normal. Because now you're not looking around on the secondary market and paying through the nose, for this out-of-print game. Now it's going to be back. Boom. Good to go. Like, I almost bought a copy of Dune, like the 1979, like old Avalon Hill. Way expensive from a friend who is just selling off like all of his stuff, and I told him, he's like, oh, do you want to buy this? And I was like, it's pretty high, and he didn't want to come down in price, and I said, well, I don't want to be a jerk, but it's coming back out soon, and it's like, I could just wait. And he didn't want to come down on the price, and I go, that's cool, man, like sell it. And I didn't, this was all like privately discussed, like, so I wasn't like dogging him publicly for the pricing or anything, because you want to sell it, that's, you do you, man. If you can get that money, go for it. But I waited, and then I just got Dune and got the new version, and did not pay a ridiculous amount of money.
How is that, by the way?
Have not played it yet, because I'm still waiting to get back together with real people and play games. So those are my Kickstarters. You've got some different ones.
Okay. First of all, we had a request to talk about Resident Evil 3.
Yes.
Okay, Resident Evil 3 has hit Kickstarter, and it's obviously the sequel to Resident Evil 2, made by Steamforged Games.
Oh, hey.
They're kind of becoming, I looked it up because I thought, I had a feeling, they're kind of becoming like the video game company.
Kind of, yeah. They're putting out,
Cause, so I wrote it down. So far they did 2 other things that weren't video game related, but then they had Devil May Cry,
Yep,
Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and of course, Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is a big one.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I was like, wow, these guys are kind of like, I'm almost excited to see what other games they're going to get. Like, even though I haven't played all their other ones, I just want to start seeing these.
Well, you and your brothers play Dark Souls.
Exactly.
Right?
We love Dark Souls. Now, it is not perfect. We have like 5 house rules that we play with that make it way better. But
who cares?
Yeah,
you're playing a game. You're having a good time. Who cares?
It is great though. It really does capture a lot of that feeling from the games that we love, which is why we love the game so much. But
perfect.
So I mean, 1 to 4 players, and obviously scenario driven. It's the video game, but put into a tile based exploration game.
That's fine.
But it looks cool.
And good minis, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They're they don't look. It's hard to explain because they're basically the same as the Resident Evil 2 ones, and I have not played either, right? Sure. Of course, but I've heard okay things. I've heard pretty good things. They're the malleable type of plastic, so you got to be a little careful. But that, of course, then has the opposite effect of you can easily fix them as well.
Right.
So they look fine. I'm sure they would look amazing painted because Resident Evil looks so good, that art style. But yeah, so Resident Evil 3, it looks cool. I hope it's good. I've heard pretty good things about the Resident Evil 2 one, other than,
I haven't played it and I need to, but my problem is that nobody I know has it.
Sure.
But if somebody like came in and was like, hey, we're going to play Resident Evil, yes.
Part of my problem, the main reason I haven't looked it out, because I love Resident Evil 2, it's actually the only Resident Evil I played growing up. Like, I skipped all the other ones for some reason, and I played Resident Evil 2 constantly. But I have a problem that they just remade Resident Evil 2,
Right.
And it looks incredible now. And that came out before the board game came out, but they stuck with the original art style, and I'm like, it's cool, it's nostalgic. But, like, look at this
So you're saying if they did like a Final Fantasy VII board game but use the original
exactly. It'd be like, why would you do that at this point?
Updated, right. I get you.
It's literally pure nostalgia at that point, and that's cool. People like that. I do like the look. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's from my childhood, but this also exists. So
sure.
But anyway, Resident Evil 3, check it out if you're interested. It looks cool. I don't know.
So that was actually the last Resident Evil game I played.
Oh, really?
Then I stopped.
Well, that's the cool thing. So I had never played Resident Evil 3.
Okay.
I have now played it because of the remake.
Oh, right.
I've heard the remake is not as good because for some reason, they just cut out huge sequences of the game that are really important. Oh. I obviously don't know about that.
Sure.
So the game was good, though. It was not as good as the Resident Evil 2 remake, which makes sense because I love Resident Evil 2.
Sure.
And they captured it perfectly.
Sure.
But it was cool. My biggest problem is I actually streamed it while playing it so that my brothers and stuff could watch, and I beat the entire game in 5 hours. I was not planning.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was sitting there and I was like, oh my, it's done. And the problem with the third one, getting into the video game a little bit,
that's fine.
Is the cool thing about the second game is you play through it as Leon, and then you go back and you play through it as Claire. So it's kind of like 2 games, and you see the same things but from different angles.
Was it 2 or 3 where you could unlock Tofu and play as a big block of tofu?
Yeah, then you play through it as Tofu, and then there's also Hunk. You play as Hunk, and there's all that stuff. In 3, you just play through it as Jill, and then there's literally 1 mission you play as Carlos, and then that's it. And that's the game. And it was just like, oh, well, you did so much more in 2. Why did you cut back? You know why? Because they wanted to come out with it so fast.
Right. We just got to get this out.
But anyway, second Kickstarter I want to talk about, Tim.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be the first game real board game I back on a Kickstarter, I think.
Whoa.
I know. I've backed some small things before. I've backed game accessories. I've backed the board game bag from boardgametables.com because I love both their bags.
Got one of them.
Nemesis Lockdown, guys. Nemesis Lockdown. Nemesis is quickly becoming my favorite board game.
Nemesis is amazing.
It's probably in my top 3 right now. Twilight Imperium is like, hey, stay back. And I'm like, dude, Nemesis is good, though.
So, so here's the thing we got to talk about, right? Is Awaken Realms.
Yes.
Awaken Realms is very quickly becoming
I think they're my favorite. Right? I think they're my favorite game company.
Because I haven't backed everything that they've done because I did not back the original Nemesis. But I backed Lords of Hellas. Yep. That's when I discovered them.
Yeah, who taught me, that he showed me.
We met, we were in a game store, I was setting up. You were kind of hanging out, and I'm like, well, you want to sit down and play it? And you're like, sure. And that's how we met and became friends or enemies.
I was introduced to both Lords of Hellas, which I now own because I love that game, and how I was introduced to Awaken Realms. And I follow them now. They're so good.
So, Tainted Grail.
Which I haven't played yet.
My gosh.
Everyone loves it.
Oh, Tainted Grail. I need to play more of that. I played the first round with a buddy, and I played the first round solo. And the only thing that has stopped me from playing more is because I think I want to do it with my friend and like keep the campaign going. Actually, Spencer, who's been on the show a bunch of times, but maybe even add another person. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, like really in-depth storytelling, and it's so different than Nemesis.
That's what I was about to say. Is that the thing that they're so good is that their games are really good.
Yes.
And they are all so different.
Yes.
Like, so seriously, if you're not, like, just go follow Awakened Realms on BGG or Facebook or even Kickstarter, and just follow them because you're going to see quality, and eventually they're going to do a theme that interests you.
And
like that's
so here's the thing, right? Is Nemesis, Lords of Hellas are both like very miniature heavy games, right? But then Tainted Grail has minis, but that's not the focus. The focus is these tarot-sized cards that you use to like build your map, and the story and the artwork is amazing. And then they put out another mini monster, which then I backed, Great Wall.
I was about to say, Great Wall's the next one.
I backed Great Wall, and their miniatures all look so beautiful, and I can't wait. But now that they're doing Nemesis, because it was out of print, right? It's hard to get.
Yes, I am still waiting for it to come to retail, but now with lockdown, they just announced, I mean, it's been like a week now, but they just announced that you will finally, they were saying no, and then they're like, yes, you'll be able to get the original game and the expansions during this Kickstarter, and now I'm like, I'm so happy, guys. I texted my brother the other day, and I was like, okay, how much you putting towards this? Because you said you were going to help me get this, because we have to get this game.
And you can't just get, like, one thing.
And I'm definitely not a completionist. Like, I love Nemesis. I would not say that I need everything. Like the red monsters, the Carna something.
I don't know if they're called Carnomorphs or if I've got that from Warhammer 40K.
I think it's Carnomorphs. I think you're right.
I get them mixed up.
But like, and that's cool, right? Because it completely changes the game. How the aliens, how the bad guys interact, and what their powers are and stuff. It totally changes the game. But I wouldn't say I need it. I've played the normal Nemesis base game with the normal aliens, which I don't even know what they're called, because I know there's Vord Seekers, Carnomorphs, and I just call the other ones aliens.
I just call them Xenomorphs.
Xenomorphs.
They're all Xenomorphs. But
I've never played with the Xenomorphs and been like, oh man, I wish they were different monsters. It's always different every time, and it always feels really cool.
The game is amazing.
But the last thing I'll say about Awakened Realms is the thing that I like about them so much, I think, is that they mix, not genres, but they mix game mechanics so well. Like, Nemesis has so many different game mechanics going in on it, and original ideas, at least to me. I have not played as many games as other people, but the simple rotate the room for how many items are in it, and stuff like these things that are just like, why don't more games have such simple mechanics that so clearly state what's happening?
They're very innovative.
And Lords of Hellas is like, oh, it's an area control game. I mean, it's really a fighting game. I mean, really, it's a questing. I mean, really, like, it just
there's so many different paths to victory. Yeah. Like, you could turtle in Lords of Hellas, right? You could turtle up in one section
and just hold the monument or whatever.
Yeah, hold the monument, and then do the other things you need to do to win.
Yeah, it's like, how do I want to win? And then every once in a while you got to try to stop other people from winning.
Yeah.
But really, how do I win?
Because I need like another turn, so I need to stop you.
But anyway.
Oh, you forgot like the big part of the Nemesis.
The big part of the Nemesis.
Yes. Solo mode. They got
solo mode.
Yeah. Solo mode in case we get quarantined again.
And the cool thing about Lockdown is it is standalone. I don't fully know what it means. They just said new ship, new crew, new aliens.
Right.
So we don't know really.
And I like that it's standalone too, right? So you could just get the one thing.
Exactly. They're also, you touched on this earlier, they're introducing some really nice like mats now to replace the shipboards. Which again, talking about, I want it so bad because it's going to be so nice to play on that game with mats. The problem is, what do I do with them afterwards? I got to get some special hanger, I guess, for my closet.
Yeah. I've seen people with these storage mats or storage racks for their play mats, and they like drape over.
Oh, okay, sure. Like a towel rack, like a fancy towel rack.
Yeah, kind of like that. And if I bought one, it would end up with towels on it because I have kids, or they would be hanging or climbing on it. So it wouldn't do me any good.
But we don't have too much. I don't have too much more to say about Nemesis. If you don't know what it is, it's basically Alien the board game. You wake up on a ship. You have amnesia because you were in cryosleep for so long, and you are exploring the ship. And that's kind of the weird part of the thing. Is like, oh, here's where the bathroom is. Like, it's kind of weird. Well, but you're exploring the ship.
Yeah.
And then you start hearing noises. Spoiler, it's Xenomorphs. And it's
all bad.
It's incredible, like the corporation.
And you can play straight co-op, or you can play where everybody's kind of got their own agendas.
Sure, which you almost... I've never done the straight co-op, but it's almost... The correct way to play it, from what I've played, is you play it straight co-op until you don't. Like that's kind of that's what we've always done. It's like, guys, we're all together, we're all together.
Any good trader game should play like that, right?
Sure.
Any good, because Infection at Outpost 31, the Thing game, my favorite version of that IP. I mean, that's really it. Because if you're the Thing, you don't necessarily want to be sabotaging because you need to get on that helicopter at the end. So you need the people that are picking the person who's the captain. That's like, okay, you're coming with me. You want to be like that awesome dude that helped out the whole time. So then you're like, yeah. So that's, in my opinion, like that's how you play. Yeah. That's how that's where the trader mechanic can be really fun. Yeah. Because it's like, you've been too helpful.
I trusted you.
Yes. You were the chosen one.
So will the next president. Great Air Force One line.
Oh, get off my plane. Yeah. But yeah, man. No, you're right. Nemesis is amazing. It is amazing. Awakened Realms is very quickly becoming one of my favorite game companies.
Yeah.
They're really good. Their Kickstarters, like any, can run long sometimes.
Yeah, and I was going to say so that's what I was going to say. The only issue with Awakened Realms is just know that when you back something, or if you're waiting for it to go on retail, you're going to be waiting.
Like, and it's fine. It's not like they're flaky, right?
Yeah, no. They're clearly doing their best, especially right now. You know.
But man, when you get your stuff, it is quality.
Yeah.
It is real quality. Good stuff.
Yep.
I love Awakened Realms.
But that's Kickstarter today.
That is Kickstarter. So in some topics, I'm gonna throw two at you.
Okay.
So one,
I don't know what these are.
One I think is gonna go relatively quickly.
Okay.
And then the other one we can kind of like dive in a little bit. So the first one.
Yes.
What have you been playing during quarantine? What have you been playing?
This is very fast because for me, not much. I still work full time. I'm an essential employee. Right. Everything. So I still work full time. My wife still works full time. So I will say I had some family over the other day. They needed to come over to do something, and I sat them down for a bit, and we played Wolves of Mercia.
So good.
I got a game of Wolves of Mercia in again. Loved it. And then basically whenever I've had a chance, we've played like Concept or Just One. Some little games that you can just play with 3 people and still have fun. Like especially Concept. You can play Concept with one other person and have a great time. Because they're guessing and they look like an idiot and then you're explaining and you look like an idiot. Like, and it's just great. But honestly, I can't think of anything else I've played.
That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. It's been kind of weird because I've been getting to play a lot of games, but not... it's like eating junk food for me. Like I need some good. Like I haven't got to play like anything really heavy.
Sure.
So I've been playing all light games with family, like stuff you can play via Zoom or FaceTime. So we played Cartographers a bunch. I love Cartographers. Actually, like that one I really that one does kind of scratch an itch.
I liked it. Once again, I'm really weird. I make fun of my brother all the time because my brother always says I don't like board games. And then I invite him over, and he plays a board game. And he's
Which one, Zach or Josh?
Josh. Okay. And he's like, that was amazing. Can we play that again?
He's the one brother of yours I played board games with.
I know.
And we always have a good time.
That's what I'm saying. And he's starting to get into it now because of the meeple thing and everything. But like, he used to come over to my house and be like, I don't like board games. And then we'd play a game. He'd be like, that was amazing. Best game ever. And then he'd leave. And then I'd be like, hey, come over next week and we're playing games. I don't really like board games. And then he comes over. That game was amazing.
Right.
That's him. So now I'm kind of like that with roll and write games. Because every single time I'm like, I don't like roll and write games. And then I play one and I'm like, I mean, that was good, I guess.
Yeah. And that's so roll and writes aren't my favorite, but my family loves them.
Sure.
Right. So like, and I guess Cartographers is a flipping, right?
Exactly.
But same difference, right? Same thing. So we played that. We played Welcome to. To play with my in-laws, and we could all play easily. We played like Yahtzee a couple times.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is fine. Like
I mean, if you're gonna play Yahtzee, play King of Tokyo.
But by the end of Yahtzee, I was like done. Like okay. I mean, as a kid, I loved Yahtzee, and I don't want to poo-poo anybody that likes Yahtzee.
Sure.
Like we had a good time; it served its purpose. We all had a nice time. We've been playing a lot of Just One.
Exactly.
Via Zoom, right? Because you can do it.
Great game.
Nobody needs the game. You can.
Well, yeah, and if everyone has their own copy, you can play with 30 people if you want. So.
Right.
Boy, that would be hard.
The best game I played, the one good game, and it took a good chunk of the day.
Okay.
Bob and I played Star Wars Rebellion.
Oh yeah, I saw the picture.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Because he had his own board. Like he had his house set up, and I had mine set up, and it really went seamless.
That's interesting because to be like, okay, I have 2 X-Wings in tier 2 of the track now.
Yeah, well, we just were real thorough, right? Yeah. We just went through, like, okay, man, like, in the build phase, I built this. So in 3, I've got this. 2, I've got this.
Yeah, because I assume you're both putting each other's ships on your own board. Yeah, so
we're manipulating.
It's dedication.
It took a few hours, but also, like, I mean, my family's home, so I'm like helping my kids, feeding people, well, children. They come up and randomly want food. My wife doesn't. My wife's self-sufficient. I want to get in trouble for that. But yeah, we played Star Wars Rebellion. It was amazing. It's so much fun. It was really good to the point where we were like, okay, so what else can we play? Like, we were looking at our game shelves, like, we could probably try to play like Splendor or Century, Spice Road. Yeah. So we're gonna try to do some more of that, but hopefully pretty soon, like, we can actually all get together and congregate. But yeah, Star Wars Rebellion was the big boy for me. Like, I was so excited. Yeah. So excited we got to play it.
That's a big boy too. You kind of went from like nothing to like, okay, I have to go as big as possible.
Well, so here's the thing: is that's one of my favorite games. Yeah. And so, like, it was worth the effort.
Sure.
Right? Because if it's like, I don't really love this game, you're not going through all that trouble.
Yeah.
You are not going through all that trouble.
Absolutely.
But I've been, and
it's clearly one of his favorite games too.
Yes.
He's talked about it a lot.
Yes. And I lost. I made one crucial mistake early, and I think if I didn't make that mistake, I would have had a better go at things.
Sure.
Because I had to move my base a couple times, and I did not. Oh, so that's the other thing. That was the one thing. When I moved my base, I was very upset. And this is boring for people that maybe don't play Rebellion. Yeah. But when you move your base, I thought, okay, all the guys on your base, when you move your base, all go to the new base.
Yes.
That is not the case.
Got it.
All you're doing is your new base is now naked in a completely different area. And there's nothing on it. Which I think is horse hockey.
I'm pretty sure Bob did that wrong when we played too. Well, you do keep, though, anyone who's obviously in the base zone, right?
No, they go on the planet where the base was.
Wow. Yeah. Bob.
And because I was like, well, I'm going to move my base and I'm going to have all these guys. And then he's like, no, they don't move. And I was like, oh, no. Because then he was literally potentially a turn away, if he goes the right way, to then move on to... And all he's got to do is put one guy on the planet. And, it was pretty frustrating.
I have a quick story on that, just really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I might have told you already, but just so everyone else. I believe 25 planets
Something
in
like
Rebellion.
That, sure.
I think there's 25 planets. The Rebel picks one, and the Empire spreads out and tries to find it. If you land on the planet, they have to reveal if they're there or not.
Right.
There are 25 planets in the game. I found Bob's base on the 24th planet. How can I be so unlucky?
Oh.
It blew my mind. And then I found it 24th planet, and he just moved it. Like, I was just like, this game sucks. No, great game.
No, it's a game that will actually fit into our next topic.
And what's that?
We're going to talk about...
Nice segue.
There's some 5 games that just nail their theme.
They nail it.
And I'm going to go first.
Go.
Star Wars Rebellion.
Yeah.
For me, that is the best Star Wars game.
Yep.
It is my favorite. It feels the most like Star Wars. It's dramatic. The fact that you can get guys captured and, you go in and you do rescue missions and, and things like that. It's really good. Mm-hmm. I love Star Wars Rebellion. It is definitely a top 5 game for me. It's one of my all-time favorite games. And I don't even have to have a game that theme, that's just theme pasted on.
Sure.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
As the game's fun, exactly. I don't care.
Totally depends.
But I don't think you could just slap any theme on Rebellion and, make it that.
Yeah. There are probably a couple that would fit, but it wouldn't fit as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But Star Wars Rebellion, so good.
Yeah.
I bet we're going to have some crossover.
I'm wondering if we're going to have crossover. I will say really quick to talk about, I wrote down Star Wars Rebellion, and I canceled it only because, while it is Star Wars in a box. If you want Star Wars the board game, it's that. I have a glaring issue with that game. I've only played it twice, I believe. I hate the lucky dice rolling combat in that game.
Oh, sure.
I find it so anti-thematic. Everything in that game is so thematic, and everything you do feels like a movie. And then you just roll some dice and be like, you won. And I hate that. It really ruins it to me. And I get it that there is some mitigation. I just don't feel like the mitigation is enough.
So let me ask you a question then. Do you not like dice rolling in combat in games in general, like in Risk? Or
I don't know. I feel like it just depends on the game.
Okay,
right? I feel
fair.
like the thing with Rebellion is it is so thematic and so strategic,
and then
it's just a die roll,
sure.
and it literally just takes a freaking 90-degree turn of luck. It's just like think, roll. And then think, roll. And it's just, I hate that. So that took it off the thematic list for me, even though it's in the top 10, you know?
Hey, I mean, you like what you like.
Sure.
I don't really have a great argument against that.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't sour it as much for me, you know, as it did for you. So I respect that.
So my first game, I actually have not played in a very long time. But I love the theme, and I feel like the theme comes through really well, and that's just time stories. I have a huge weakness for time travel. My wife actually made fun of me this morning because we were watching some guys who were like purposely watch bad movies and review them and stuff. And at one point they were just like, "There's time travel in it now," and Catherine was like, "Oh, it's your favorite movie now," like because every time there's time travel in a movie, I love it. And so this is literally like Time Stories is you are a bunch of people from the future in a special organization. I don't remember the name of the organization, but you basically travel back in time into other people's bodies.
You quantum leap.
Yeah, you quantum leap. Yeah, and there's a new show too with the guy from Will and Grace that does the same thing. Not new, sorry, it's probably like 10 years old.
Okay,
but
sure.
Same idea. But and so you go in these other people's bodies because basically there's a catastrophic event that's going to happen in that year, but they don't know what causes it. So you go back into these people's bodies and you explore and you try to figure out what it is, and you find clues. Like you search the closet, there's nothing there, right? But then when you run out of time, you get sucked back to the future again, and you got to go back again.
You're missing a part though.
What's that?
Where that guy tells you what a horrible job you've done.
Every time you come back, you suck.
Every time you
Why did we hire you?
Yeah, and then they send you back.
Yeah,
like
go do it.
Yeah, you're a piece of crap.
So then you go back, but then you know certain things like, okay, we don't need to check the closet. There's nothing in there because you're time travelers. Right. Yeah, and so every time you go back, you shorten, you get more efficient. Right, so it's like my two favorite things: time travel and efficiency.
Sure.
And the game nails it.
It's amazing.
It's gone downhill for a lot of people because it was like episodic, and you had to buy all the expansions separately, and they were very hit and miss. From what I've heard, I've only played 2 or 3 of them. There's like 8 or something.
Yeah. It depends on who wrote what module to some people.
It is by far the best time travel-y type game I've ever seen or played. If that kind of thing interests you, please check it out. It's incredible. The module that comes with it is great, and I've heard Marcy Case is fantastic. So check it out. Time Story is fantastic.
We need to play Marcy Case together.
Yeah, I still haven't played it, but I have had a couple things spoiled for me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to, of course. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I 100%, I feel weird that I didn't think of Time Stories, because Time Stories is amazing. Yeah. It's such a good, I love a good storytelling game.
Sure.
Right?
The reasons on this list for me is because you basically get it because of the theme. Right? And that's kind of what some of my stuff is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So my next one, and these aren't really in a particular order of like...
We should mention that. Mine are semi in an order. It's really just like my 2 favorite ones are 2 and 1, right? Or the one that's most thematic and the one I like the most.
Because you could ask me on a different day, and I'd tell you. I'd give you a different order.
Sure.
This is one. It's not as easy to get anymore. But I've gotten to play it a couple times, and I just always have a blast playing it, and that is Fortune and Glory.
Oh, okay.
Fortune and Glory is like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I've never played. I've always wanted to, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
For what it was out of print for a long time. I don't know if it still is, but it was very expensive.
Yeah. I was lucky. I got a guy was getting rid of his, and it was dirt cheap. Or no, I got it on a trade table. I didn't even buy it.
He was lying.
I misremembered.
Oh, is that the wording? Okay.
That's if you're in Congress. If you're in front of Congress, that's what you say.
I have no recollection.
I misremembered. No, I got it in a trade. Fortune and Glory is Indiana Jones in a box.
Yeah.
I mean, you're globe-trotting, you're punching Nazis.
It looks incredible.
It is. It's just a ton of fun. Like, don't overthink it, right? But man, it's just fun. It's just 1930s cereal, not food cereal, but like movie cereal.
I'm interested in what all his list is, because so far it's Star Wars in a box, Indiana Jones in a box, and I think I know one of them in a box.
You probably do. So you probably know the other one for sure.
So I'm wondering.
So we're going to cross over. I'm 99% sure we're crossing over.
I hope so. So next, actually, this is going to be the only, I think, it's not even controversial, but I'm going to say it feels shoehorned on, maybe.
Okay.
But to me, Twilight Imperium 4 is one of the most thematic games in the world. It's not even because the space and the spaceship fighting. To me, it is, to use yours, it is like politics in a box. Yeah. That game, I have almost never shot a gun playing that game. You just talk people into it. I also don't win every time, but you just talk people into things and make deals and then break deals.
So I'm going to throw something back at you. Because this is the only time I don't have fun playing Twilight Imperium.
Interesting.
And I love Twilight Imperium. I love the politics aspect of it. And to use your exact phrase, you plan, roll.
True.
Plan.
But you see, Tim, roll. I don't fight in that game, so I don't use the dice.
And when those die rolls, you move in. I've seen people, I've been on both sides.
No, yeah.
Totally fair, right? Moved in this massive fleet into fight like just a couple of ships or a couple of guys.
And you win.
They are like it's like the Battle of Thermopylae, right? Like the 300 guys are holding off the million Persians.
In all fairness, they almost won.
And but I love Twilight Imperium.
No, anyway. He's totally right, though. It falls from the exact same problem I have with Rebellion. The only reason I don't mind it in Twilight Imperium is because I don't have to do it, and I usually don't.
Sure.
In Star Wars Rebellion, you have to. Everything is the rolling of the dice. Like, I'm going to capture this person. Okay, well, how many skill checks do you have? Roll the dice.
Right.
In this game, it's just, are you going to get in a space battle? Roll the dice. Everything else is like the card, not manipulation, because you don't have that many cards, but it's you have those cards that you hand out, and obviously the actions you take, like Puerto Rico, we were talking about earlier. And,
I love the tech tree.
Yeah,
the tech tree
especially
really kind of customize your own.
I actually. I get it's more complicated. I do enjoy the tech tree of 3 more than 4.
It is,
but I totally understand why they streamlined it.
Right.
I totally get it, and it is very easy to play with. I've only played 4 once since I got it, but it's like, okay, I see what they did.
Sure.
But man, do I miss... it's almost RPG-ish, right? I like looking on the back and seeing the tech tree and following it, and But yeah, Twilight Imperium 4, I mean, it's space politics with a little bit of fighting, and I've told this story before on this show where it's the only game where we took a break halfway through because it's a very long game. Mm-hmm. We were probably 3 hours in or something, and we took a break, and I was standing on the porch with a friend of mine, and we had a long conversation about how we couldn't let another friend take a certain planet because he would have too much I can't think of the word right now, like power in the political the political things that were coming up. He was going to have too many votes, whatever. We took that planet, and like I literally was standing on that porch, and I was like, what are we talking about right now? This is a board game, man.
And you were talking about it like it's
real politics. I cared way more about that conversation than any real politics conversation I've ever had. So, but anyway, Twilight Imperium 4 or 3. 4 is technically better, but
and the theme is really, I mean, its own IP.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Like it's not like it's
very well thought out.
Yeah. All the races are very well thought out.
I'm gonna make up a number here, could be way off, but like it feels like there's like 25 races.
Oh my gosh, I think that's way too many. I mean, there's at least 10 or 12.
There's no way there's only 12.
There might be more.
I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
There might be more.
Plus, all the versions don't have all the same races, so you could technically...
Depending on what expansion
you could technically do that.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh yeah, you're right though. 4 doesn't have any expansion races yet. But anyway, who cares? Twilight Imperium 4, plenty in that base box. It's incredible.
Oh, it's super good.
Cannot wait for the expansions.
It's super good. So my next one, and this just anybody that knows me and the movies that I love. Gosh, it's like which order do I put them in? Doesn't matter. Why am I blanking on the name now? Last Friday.
Oh sure.
The
Friday the 13th game
is the Friday the 13th, but not Friday the 13th game. It is hidden movement, but one versus many. But the thing that I love about it, there's all these nice little touches in there, right? So the first round that you play, if let's say I'm the killer,
Mm-hmm.
the maniac is what they call him, I believe. I'm the maniac, so I've got my board. I am secretly moving around on the board while all the campers are going around and discovering bodies and trying to then find keys to cabins and get into cabins before the end of the night. And I am moving around trying to kill them.
Yeah.
So if I cross over their space, and get to them, I can kill them. And then they're laying traps and they're trying to figure out where I've been. But then the next round, have you played this?
No.
Then the next round, the campers are like coming for you.
Oh, interesting.
So then you're running from them.
Interesting. They have weapons and stuff?
Basically, if they catch you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, if they catch you. So then it switches.
Interesting.
And then
It switches back?
Then it switches back.
Yeah.
But there's a chosen one. So one of the players swaps out their colored pawn with a white pawn.
Got it.
And they're the chosen one. So they need to survive.
There's a Laurie Strode all of a sudden.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. So then the maniac is trying to kill that person.
Okay.
And so you have to change your whole strategy as the campers or the counselors because now you're running interference.
Yeah.
Stopping
distractions and stuff.
stopping movement, and blocking, because then it's like if you're the chosen one and the person that's like one space away from you croaks, then oh crap, he's
Time
like
to
he's on my tail, right? And then it switches, like on the final scenario, the chosen one has got to catch the maniac, and the maniac can't move through the campers. So it's like the net is closing, and it goes back and forth. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. The tension is really great. I love games like this. Like I love Spectre Ops, Narcos, Fury of Dracula. I could have put on this list. Narcos. I could have put on this list. I've never seen an episode of Narcos.
Sure.
Play that game, and I love the tension as you're trying to figure out where he is and stuff. But anyways. Last Friday, you got a little Game Master screen, right?
Sure.
For the Maniac, and you're marking down your moves. But the Game Master screen's got this little thing to look through.
That's hilarious.
So occasionally you just go look through and stare at the people you're playing against. It's so much fun. Wow. It is so much fun. I just really enjoyed the creativity of it, and then loving the old slasher movies like Friday the 13th, Halloween, and stuff like that. The game just nails it for me.
Cool.
It nails that feeling. I've played both as the counselors and the maniac. I've seen both sides win. I've been killed. I've killed. It's been great. It's a ton of fun. And then the other thing, to kind of mitigate player elimination, right? When you die, if you're a counselor, I forget what the exact number is. Depending on the player count, you get so many. Basically, you just grab another character out of the box.
Oh, okay.
And then you show up at the edge of camp, you just showed up. Because in those movies, people are just showing up. Sometimes. Sometimes they just show up and die right away.
To get on video games against the video game almost does that as a joke, to where it's everyone's dying, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden
Tommy
just shows up with a shotgun. It's hey, I'm here.
Well, I'm gonna save everybody.
Yeah.
No, but it's so much fun, and I've always had a good time playing it, and even with people that don't love slasher movies, or whatever. But as an old horror hound, I love it. It's a good time.
Sure.
So that's my third one.
Yes, because now I'm doing my third one. I was wondering if this was going to be on your list.
Waiting.
Yep.
I'm waiting because I've got the one I think we're going to cross over.
If we
in
did
my
a
pocket.
top 10, it would definitely be on his list. I feel.
I got one in my pocket.
So this is basically
Battlestar Galactica
in a box.
Battlestar Galactica. I was saving it.
Yeah,
I was saving it because I was I want you to talk about it. We need to play this game together.
I know, we need to. So bad.
We love this game independently. We need to play it together. So please go on.
I mean, honestly, there's not too much to talk about other than just the fact that have you seen Battlestar Galactica? Because first of all, the show's incredible.
Yes.
But this so perfectly encapsulates what makes that show that show. It does an amazing job. It takes off all the fat. It takes off everything. The only thing the board game is missing, which isn't important, is it doesn't have the the heavy religious feeling.
Oh, sure.
Because the show is very much like kind of a study on how religion affects people in the middle of this sci-fi war thing.
Yes.
And the board game doesn't have that, but it also doesn't need to.
But it's got all the politics, right? Like, I don't know how you implement
it has all the politics.
All the
it has
politics.
the hidden traitor thing.
The hidden traitor mechanic is so good.
So Battlestar Galactica, really quick, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically a space sci-fi show where human race is at war with a robotic, like, alien, I'll just say. But the thing is, some of them look human, and some even think they're human, kind of like sleeper agents.
Yeah.
And so the whole show is about who are the Cylons? Who is the Cylons? And the whole show, you're sitting there watching, you're like, oh, it's him, it's her, it's this guy, it's this. And so obviously they made a very simple traitor game where some people are Cylons, and it has a mechanic you see a lot in games now, where the Hail Hydra game that came out not too long ago, you see a mechanic where basically, okay, we got to hit a certain number. The skill check is 13. We're all putting cards in face down that have numbers like +2, -2, and that kind of stuff. And well, in Battlestar Galactica, you have minuses, but like colors count as the wrong color counts as negative. But and then you literally split the cards over, and you see if you hit the skill check, and if there's bad colors in there, then you know there's a traitor in our midst.
Right.
And which there's definitely a traitor.
Now, to be fair, sometimes you're like, guys, I don't have anything
good.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, so you're gonna get a bad card. It's from me. I'm sorry.
Yes. But you can, in Battlestar Galactica, I actually don't remember, can you withhold in Battlestar Galactica like you can the other games? See, neither of us even remember.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I played.
I think you can pass, because in most games, like in Dark Moon, you can pass.
Right.
In Hail Hydra.
Dark Moon is Battlestar Galactica Light.
Oh, yeah.
They say that on the box.
Yeah, it used to be called BSD Express.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, I just
So Battlestar's so much better because of the theme, the depth. I mean, you could throw people in the brig. Like, I think, or you either like, I'm convinced you're a Cylon, and I throw you in the brig, and maybe you are, maybe you're not, to like limit your actions.
Yeah.
You can still do stuff, but just not as much. Or you're the Cylon, you convince everybody else
to throw that human in the brig.
You throw human in the brig and you handicap them. And then they got the whole aspect of like, you've got to, while you're dealing with all the politics, right? You've got people going out in ships trying to fight off
like the X-Wing TIE fighter fights are going on constantly. And then on top of all that, you have to make sure your ship's ready to jump.
Yes.
Like that's the whole thing. It's
You've got morale.
It's a very exciting thing where the ship has to be ready to jump every certain amount of like there's a certain time and you have to get to your destination. So it's literally it's so thematic. It's so thematic because basically silent ships show up and like so basically picture a lot of people understand Star Wars. So I explain it like picture like TIE fighters show up and then Star Destroyers show up and then the Death Star shows up and then you just light speed to the next zone and you're like and then slowly but surely TIE fighters show up and they're just chasing
sometimes not even slowly.
Oh
sometimes
yeah, sure.
It's like, oh no.
And I haven't even played with any of the expansions.
I haven't either.
I hear the Pegasus one is incredible.
The problem is it's all aftermarket.
Oh
right?
yeah.
It's all out of print.
They're like $200.
They're really hard to get.
Yeah.
But the base game's enough.
It's plenty. Especially because I've only played it, like I said, I've only played it through all the way once, and then I've done some test games and stuff. And so it's plenty.
We need to play
and I've
this
watched it played
together.
many times because since I can't get a group together to play it myself, I literally just watch people play it on YouTube. I'm like, this game's incredible.
It's really good. It is so good.
But yeah, Battlestar Galactica, it's really hard to find right now, but it's worth it if you are a fan of that universe. I had a chance to get the game many years ago, but I didn't know what it was. And then I watched the show, and I was like, why did I never get that game?
So I got a funny story for you.
Oh.
I was aware of the show. Never watched it. Bought the game.
Oh, okay.
Because I heard good things, you know.
So we're total opposites.
Bought the game and played it, and I was like, this game's amazing. I should go watch the show. Yeah. And everybody else is like, yeah, dummy. Like,
that's hilarious.
We've been telling you this for years.
We're literally the exact opposite. I watched the show, and I was like, I gotta get that game.
So the good thing for me was by the time I went to watch the show, it was all done.
Yeah,
so like, I could just watch everything.
Yeah.
And I burned through it so quick. And it's so good.
Yeah.
It is.
I binged
so
it.
Good. I did.
But Battlestar Galactica. What's next, Tim?
It's amazing. Okay, so I got like one that doesn't count and then like a real one.
Okay.
The one that doesn't count is because I have not played the game yet.
Oh, gotcha.
But the game itself is so thematic. It is so true to the source material and so interesting and fascinating. And that is Dune.
Okay.
Dune. Have not played Dune yet.
I thought it was going to be Dune when you said that.
So, but Dune is like, the story behind Dune, I don't know if anybody knows or if you've read it or aware of it or seen
Educate me.
The movie. But there is, it's in the future, way off in the future, and there's a planet called Arrakis, which everybody else calls, well, it's called Arrakis. It's referred to as Dune. It is a desert planet. Okay, there is a mineral, a spice that is mined off of Arrakis, but it's very hard to get, and that allows for people to do like faster than light travel. Okay, like it increases your brain capacities so that you can do the calculations to travel through and navigate space safely. Yes. So yeah, except that there is a race of, I forget what they're called now. Oh, forgive me, hardcore fans. But there's a race that is ingested so much spice that they have evolved into like something different, and they have to live in these tanks where they breathe. What do they call it? The melange. Okay, is the fancy name for the spice, right? So they breathe it like with air, and they're weird looking now, and they're crazy. So, but here's the thing: is that there's the emperor of the galaxy. There is different houses that are all vying for control of Arrakis, because if you control spice, you actually control everything. Because it's like, think of it like if somebody owns all the gas. Yeah. You're not going anywhere. You can't trade, you can't travel, you can't do anything if you can't use space travel. You need spice, and it's all on this one planet. But there's the, what are they called? The Fremen. The Fremen are the natives of Arrakis. And because it is so hostile a planet, they have these suits that they wear that like absorbs wicks all the moisture off of them, and then like constantly recycles it. Oh, okay. And there are these big sandworms, like think Beetlejuice. You've seen Beetlejuice, right? Sure. The big worms in Beetlejuice, right? That's from Dune. Like those things are actually, and the Fremen can ride the worms. They throw these thumpers in the ground, and they put these signals out. Tremors. You seen Tremors?
Fantastic movie.
Okay, right. So Tremors, right? They're attracted to the vibration, and so these sandworms show up. The Fremen can like jump on the sandworms and travel around. They basically know all the secrets, right, of Arrakis. And there's a big thing with, I don't want to give away spoilers, but with the worms and spice and the planet itself. But then there's the House Atreides. House Atreides has been appointed to oversee Arrakis, oversee Dune. But the problem is, if they fail, or if the Fremen, who are always trying to disrupt the flow of spice because they don't like other people on their planet, if they fail, you're set up for failure, right, with politics. And then there's the Harkonnens, and they're like backstabbers and betrayers, and they're really nasty and horrible people. Anyways, each house has their own thing that they can do, and they do well.
I was about to say, so I assume in the game you pick one of those factions.
Yes. Yeah. And then there's the, they're like this weird group of nuns. They're crazy. They control everything. They like set up. Anyways, there's all these different factions. Each faction has like a way that they break the rules. Sure. They've got like so the Fremen can go anywhere on Arrakis without spending any points. Some guys can attack without spending spice, because when you attack, you basically are paying. You're paying to attack. You're paying to move. You're paying to do all these different.
The bank.
Yes. Okay. Well, the bank is the emperor, though.
That's what I was about to ask. So someone does play as the bank?
Yes.
Oh, that's sick.
And so you're really like, I've got to work with you. You know what I mean? Like, so like, and you're doling out this, and then the Harkonnens there's trader cards. So like, when you play a card, you're going to play a card that somebody that's going to aid you in battle. Okay? Because there's no dice. You basically like each army is worth one. Sure. Right? And then you play a guy, right? I play Duncan Idaho, which is a real character in the thing. Okay. Silly name, but a real thing. So I play Duncan Idaho. Well, if you have the trader version of the card,
it turns out he's not working for you.
He's not working for you. So like House Atreides, you're the only person that gets to write stuff down. And you get to see, like, everybody at different points in the game is going to get to see, like, different cards in your hand, but you have to try to remember it. And if they played it, but Atreides can write them down.
Everything.
And they know who's got what. There's so much. Yeah. There's so much stuff to this game. Like, I am not doing it any justice at all. And this is going to be like a Twilight Imperium kind of thing. Like, we're going to sit down and we're going to play for, like, 5 hours. Yeah, okay. Right? But you want to play with, like, 6 people, and because then that way every house is represented, because there's like this weird economy, right? Like I pay you to do this, and then you're paying them to do that, and you know they control the trader cards, and they know this, and they know this, and they do this. I gotta play Dune.
Yeah.
I love the books. I like the first 3 books. Whatever.
So I'm going into this not knowing anything about Dune, except that it's a very famous cult classic.
Yes.
And that sounds incredible.
Oh, dude.
That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, Twilight Imperium. You love Twilight Imperium. You'll love Dune just for that.
Yeah.
Because you can do stuff without battling. There's no dice.
Well,
and
the thing that really interests me about Dune is, like you said, you're drawing a lot of comparisons to that Twilight Imperium thing, but also, if I really had to nail it down, I enjoy the post-apocalyptic-y Mad Max-y universe way more than the clean Star Wars-y.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, this is
universe.
very grungy, like, gritty.
And I enjoy that type of theme way more. So that I'll have to try that out.
So, there's an 80s movie of Dune, and I would say, like, watch it, but I would also say, like, I saw it at a young age, because I'm older, and I thought it was amazing when I saw it. Now, I go back, and, like, clearly this movie has some flaws.
Sure. I love The Last Starfighter.
Oh, I do too!
Yeah.
Okay.
The movie doesn't super hold up.
No, I mean, yeah, right. But I would say if you have the time, like, take a look at Dune.
Yeah.
Take a look at Dune. There was also a sci-fi series which is more true to the books.
Okay.
But it's
also just called Dune, you're saying?
Yes. Okay. But it's a little cheesier than the movie.
So the book is cheesier than the movie, you're saying?
No.
Oh, but you're saying it's more true.
It is, but it's because of, like, the production value.
Oh.
It's more like Doctor Who in the 80s kind of production value. Because it was sci-fi before they did Battlestar Galactica. Like, so sci-fi in, like, the 90s.
Sure.
Put out, like, a bunch of really goofy looking...
Totally off topic.
Stuff.
You know something that really annoys me? I get it, it's complicated. There's a lot in there. Why is there not a good Doctor Who board game yet?
There's one that I haven't played that's kind of popular right now.
Is it popular? Because I have not heard of one that's popular. So I just feel like it can't be that good.
Oh, fair.
If not every single Doctor Who fan loves it.
Sure.
You know? Anyway, off topic, but like that is a series that just needs an amazing game that encapsulates it. Anyway, are you done?
Yeah, I'll do my real number one after you go, because I've talked for a whole bunch.
Oh, I forgot that wasn't even your real number one.
I know, I jabbered on so long about a game that I haven't played yet, but I own and I look at it.
I totally forgot.
I stare at it longingly on my shelf.
Oh, wait, that can't be your number one. I'm on number 2.
Oh, okay. Let's see, I did last Friday, Rebellion. No, because I did Battlestar with you. Battlestar was...
you counted that together.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did all the talking.
No. I wanted you to because I love that game also.
So in case you missed it like I did, we both had... That's our first crossover. I don't think the second one... I thought there was going to be a second one.
Uh-oh.
I don't think you put it on your list.
What's yours?
This is super obvious to me. I talked about it at long length earlier.
Which one?
Nemesis is Alien in a box.
Yeah.
It is one of the most thematic games I've ever played. I love it. I have it as number 2 for a reason because it is my favorite probably like theme-wise game on this list. My number 1 is just by far the most thematic. It doesn't count as a game. It's like a activity. Yeah, exactly. It's like an experience. We'll get there. But Nemesis is just I'm telling you, man, like if you love those movies, at least the first 2, that's obviously what it's most like.
Yes.
This is that. I talked about it earlier, so I won't go into it, but it's Alien the movie. Wake up, explore the ship, there are xenomorphs, work together or don't, complete your missions, try to get to Earth or wherever you secretly need to take the ship.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love it. I did not put it on my list because I feel like I need to play it more.
Sure.
And I say that having just had a game that I've never played.
Yeah, right. Good point.
But it is based on like one of my favorite film franchises. Yeah. Nemesis is wholeheartedly, man. Yeah. It really nails it.
And like I'm following, I think you are as well. I'm following their like official Facebook thing, and there are people that are just posting like, oh look, I made this 3D print of like alien eggs from the Alien movies, and I made this, and so they're like, you can see them turning it, like how easy it is to turn it into just the most thematic Alien board game,
right? Without having
ever.
The IP.
Yeah, without having the IP. Yeah, they're just alien eggs. Jeez.
Yeah, gosh, guys.
But no, seriously, guys, Nemesis. Check it out, especially check out the Kickstarter. It's currently private, but I mean, if you search it for Google, it'll still take you to the page. You just can't back it yet. But it comes out. It's supposed to launch sometime either this month or early next month. I believe they said. And it is incredible. Nemesis.
Super good.
Quickly becoming one of my favorite games of all time.
Super good. Super good. Was that your number one?
That's number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. So do you still get to do your number 1
so
first?
My real,
because of how BSG worked out somehow.
Right. So my real number one is Infection at Outpost 31.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you talked about that earlier as well.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
So I went from not licensed Alien to not licensed Thing. Right. As much as happened.
Right. Well, this is actually, I think it is licensed because they use McCready and.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely licensed then.
Yeah, they use all the guys.
They just don't use the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it does say the thing on there.
Oh, okay. I'm wrong about everything. I haven't played it yet.
That's fair. No, it's so good. It's so good. There's a hidden traitor. You're going through, and actually multiple people can become the thing, and you don't know even if the other people are the thing.
Because they can, infect? Is that what it is?
You're going to draw a card.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's so much fun. There's a lot of tension. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of finger pointing and arguing. And, well, why do you want to... Because sometimes you're like, I'll stay behind and I'll do this. And so each character has got a color. So you're either a mechanic or you're a leader.
Sure.
And so you're going to reveal a job. And there's one person who is
proficient.
The captain. Well, there's one person who's a captain each round.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So you pass around this handgun each.
Okay.
And that's who's the captain. So the captain's going to decide who goes on the mission.
Okay.
So it might be I need 2 blue guys and 2 green guys.
Oh yeah.
Right? So say the blue guys are leaders, and then and then there's the red guys are mechanics, and so you got to take some. You're like, but I don't trust you. But you're the only character with that color.
Yeah.
So I've got to take you. Yeah. Right? And then it's like BSG where you've got to meet.
Okay. The skill check stuff.
The skill check stuff, but it's we need a gun, a rope, and dynamite.
Sure. Okay.
Right? So everybody's going to secretly put in their card. Yeah. And there's these red cards that are bad, and instantly something happens. And sometimes your hand will fill up with these crappy cards. And you're like, guys, I only have bad cards. So if you take me, bring extra rope because this is going to eliminate rope.
Gotcha. And you're allowed to talk openly about that.
You can't show it.
Sure.
But you can talk about
it. Because that promotes lying.
Yes. And I have been in games where somebody's like, bring extra rope, and then they have played something and it actually eliminated something else.
Gotcha.
And, everybody is like, oh no, we only had one of those. No. It's you. Yeah, by then it might be too late.
Yeah, exactly. Because that move would be too obvious. Because if they didn't eliminate rope, you'd know what's going on.
Yeah, and there's a lot of strategy.
Sure,
there's a lot of strategy.
Yeah, no, this excites me. I was interested because when this game came out, it did not get the buzz I thought it would. It did not explode as the thing the board game I thought it would. So I was wondering how good or not. But you've interested me because it's not a very loved game, but I love Dark Moon. And so
Dark Moon's really good.
So this sounds like a more deep, Dark Moon.
Yes. So it doesn't take. Well, it's not as fast as Dark Moon, but not as.
Sure. That's the point of Dark Moon, though.
As long
they were
as
like, can we do this in an hour?
And I played 8-player games of this, and we have had my brother-in-law the first time we played it. I was convinced he was the thing. I was not the thing. And my friend Tyler. Tyler's been on the show. Uh-huh. Tyler was a thing.
Wow.
No idea whether he was or not. It was not on my radar. And my brother-in-law is like, I trust him. Your thing.
So
you're
you
lying.
Guys just hated
you're
each
a lying bastard. I'm like, I think you're the thing. And we're yelling back and forth. Well, it turns out the way it ended is at the end of the game, you're trying to escape on the helicopter.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm going to take you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're picking who you're taking and who you're leaving behind. So if any humans die, humans lose.
So what happens if the thing is the captain at the end, though?
The thing wins because he can take whoever he wants.
How do you stop him from being captain?
I forget. There's ways.
Okay, I'm sure there's ways. I was just like, man, that's.
Oh, you can vote. You can vote. You can have a vote. I have no confidence in your ability as captain. So everybody kind of mutinies.
A vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum.
Yes.
I shouldn't know that.
But you do. So anyways, we're going back and forth and yelling and cussing at each other. It's all good-natured, right? But we're laughing. And so I get left behind. Mm-hmm. And he took the damn thing with him. And he's like, what? It led to such a crazy, then breakdown of the game after. Because it's sometimes when you're playing those games and then you have an hour-long discussion about
play that card
what happened. It was so much fun. There's some fun little minis in there that kind of correspond.
Cool,
so the thing starts off real small and then it gets bigger and bigger. So you've got there's to move on to the next level, you've got to search these rooms and you've got to find where the thing is, or maybe you've got to like find rope before you can unlock the second section.
So the thing is an actual miniature itself, but then also someone...
Yeah, because even in the movie, you've seen the movie, right? So the movie, even when like one person was there was never just one person as the thing.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
You know,
the beginning of the movie, you see the weird dog infected thing and everything, but there's already a human also infected.
Right, because you see the dog go and like the silhouette of a guy.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, that guy's gone, and then you spend the rest of the movie trying to figure out which dude that was. Right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, so thematic, so much fun. There is a smaller, really fun kind of social deduction game that is worth mentioning. It's called Stay Away.
Okay.
I have played this game with my friends, and we always have a really good time, but you need like 7 or 8 people. And Stay Away, you have to draw a card and play a card on your turn. And you've only got a couple cards in your hand. And the way that you become infected is one person starts off as the thing, and only the thing can pass infected cards that you're going to draw. So you can draw an infected card,
but you can never give it away.
But it doesn't mean you can't give it away unless it's the only kind of card you have in your hand.
Oh, okay.
Right. But then what you do is like you swap a card to the person on the left, and you swap a card to the person on the right, and then you mix them and you put them in your hand, so you don't know like who gave you which one. And so the other thing you can do is like, there's things will make everybody get up and change positions at the table.
But the stuff stays in the same spot? Like your cards and everything?
So, well, when you play a card, it might be like, make Dan show me a card from his hand. Mm-hmm. Like...
I was just saying, when you rotate seats, do you take your hand with you?
Oh, yeah, you take your hand with you.
Okay.
So the other thing, though, is like, you might play a card that lets you lock the door. So the player to your left, or that's my right.
Oh, but now you're locked.
So the player to your right can't pass you a card.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And then there's the flamethrower card where you're like, I'm just gonna kill you. There's only like 2 or 3 of them. And if you kill the thing, you win.
Okay. Yeah.
But you've got to be sitting next to the person.
So the second you kill someone, they'd have to say if they're the thing or not.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And it's really fun.
Yeah,
it's a blast. There's always a lot of laughing. The artwork on the cards is really funny and really good. So it's just a little card game called Stay Away. We'll play it sometime when we got a bunch of people, because like Wolves of Mercia and stuff. It's a really fun
it's really fun
social deduction kind of game. So, anyways, that's my one. My one's the thing, mostly because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I always had great experiences playing that game.
So my one I mentioned earlier is not... It doesn't even feel like a game. It just feels like an experience.
I want to know what this is.
I've talked about it. Not today, but on a previous episode.
Okay.
I've talked about how this is one of my best experiences
I've
had in gaming. So, have you ever wanted to just feel what it's like to live on a frickin' submarine?
Oh, this is a game I need to play.
U-Boot is incredible.
I own it.
The game is called U-Boot, and it had to be number one, because if you had played it, I think it would be your number one too. Because
I thought about this really hard, but it's only because I'm more aware of Dune.
Sure.
And like how it plays is because U-Boot also like clearly so thematic.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
And I own it, but I haven't played it yet.
It is four players. It is one to 4 players. I really suggest playing with 4 players, though. Kind of like, because I almost put Captain Sonar on the list. I love Captain Sonar. It's so funny, ha 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 ha. And I was like, I'm an idiot. I played U-Boot. The Captain Sonar can get kicked off this list by U-Boot, because it's 4 players and each person is a role. There's the captain, the navigation officer, and then 2 other role, engineer, and I don't remember the name of the 3rd one. And it's like real, man. Like,
I feel like you have to be a real engineer.
I was the navigator, which I personally feel was by far the hardest role. Like, I literally had to know how to use like the special compasses on the maps and plot our course, and the game's in real time. So on the map, it's a gridded map, and like I'd have to plot our course and be like, okay, we should reach our if we stay underwater, if we stay submerged, we should reach our destination in 3.5 hours. And like you pay attention to the time, and it's real time, but I mean you can fast forward if you're not doing anything, right? So the clock will fast forward. But like, and you have to plot out all that stuff, and then there's I think I also, the navigator, handled the food. So there's like a food pyramid, and like certain food expires faster than others, and you can only make your dinner and stuff out of food that is touching each other. So if you get like, oh, I got, this isn't the correct food, but if I had bread, chicken, and cheese all touching each other, I can take all those off and put them in the bag, especially because, you know, cheese and chicken are going to expire or whatever, so get rid of those, and whatever expires fastest. And then, you know, the pyramid changes then, and you're making meals for everyone. You have to eat once a day or you start losing morale. And the game is incredible.
Aren't there shifts too? Don't you have like you have to assign guys to like the day and the night?
You have a day shift and a night shift, yeah. And then when the bell tolls, you switch them, and like whatever they were doing, they get replaced by the other guys. But the other guys might not be as proficient,
right?
Like so, your guy 2 gets replaced by night shift guy 2, but he was an engineer, and this guy. So when you're getting close to the end of your shift, you got to move everyone around so they're in the right shift positions, or else you're going to waste time during the next shift.
It is a simulation.
It is a simulation. That's why I said it's not a game. It is by far a simulator, but because it's a simulator, it's one of the most thematic things I've ever experienced in my life.
It looks so
amazing. Literally, you take your freaking phone when you use the periscope, and it's linked to an app, and you look through your phone and you move around like this, and you literally see the ocean. And like when you're shooting torpedoes, the captain has to be on the periscope and be like, you know, rotate like to 395, fire, like and stuff. And like the guy who's firing the missiles can't see what's going on, and he just has to turn the gear and trust what the captain's saying. It's incredible, man. I'm telling you. If you are interested at all in like a war-y simulator, a submarine simulator, a military feeling simulator, it is 100% worth every penny. The game is incredible. I don't know what else to say about U-Boot. I have to play it again, Bob. Please, I'll just play with Tim.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll just play with Tim,
that's
Bob.
Fine. We'll find two other people. Bob? We'll get a cat and a dog.
Oh, that's the last thing I wanted to say was literally I was the navigations officer. The reason I brought that up is because before I went to Bob's and played, I spent hours learning how to actually navigate, like in the game, not real life submarine navigating, but watching videos on how it works. And like it's like I missed. There was a really old video game called America's Army, where before you were allowed to play multiplayer, it was like a Call of Duty shooter multiplayer, but before you were allowed to play the multiplayer, you had to go through actual military schooling. You sat in a classroom, and there were tests. Like they said, this is the tank. The tank has this many engines and the treads, and then you had to take a written test inside the game. And like for shooting, you weren't allowed to handle a gun until you went to the shooting course and passed all the shooting tests.
Is that one of the games they used to like recruit people?
Yes, it was made as a recruiting tool, but I'm telling you, it was an amazing actual game. But like you weren't allowed to play until you actually passed the tests, and that's kind of what this made me think of. You know, you have to study and actually try to. It feels like you're going to work, but like it's a great job.
I want to play. I want to play U-Boot so bad. I own it. I want to play it.
So good. Giant 3D submarine on the table that you move your guys around. Incredible.
Because there's multiple levels too, right?
It's so incredible. Yeah, to increase morale, you can take a smoking break, and you have to put your guy on top of the submarine, and then only the guys on top can use, unless you're using the periscope. Once the guys are on top, any of them are allowed to look through the periscope thing because they can just see clearly. They're on top. If it starts like storming though, then you got to get back inside, or like obviously if you're going to submerge. The captain's got to be like, everyone get inside, everyone get inside. And incredible.
So good.
I cannot talk highly enough about that experience.
You mean you can't just slap My Little Pony theme on that and then have a My Little Pony game?
I'll try. I'll see if it works out.
Yeah, no, that. I think that's the most important thing, right, about all the games that we talked about, is they're so locked in to their own theme. Like, I don't think you could, on Nemesis, right, it is Alien. You can't slap on Predator and make it Predator. Sure. You can't, you know what I mean? You just can't. That's why I like The Thing so much, is there's so many things specific about the Infection at Outpost 31, where you have to, I mean, it's all like, you know, it's pulled from the movie and some from the story, and it's like just, it's so tied in. Battlestar, right? Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar was the one I wanted to say that was on my list. The reason it was on my list is because I bought that game because of the theme.
Sure.
And that tells you something.
Star Wars Rebellion.
You know? Sure.
Star Wars Rebellion. I wouldn't have dropped, I mean, it's $100. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's an expensive game. It's Fantasy Flight. I mean, the components are amazing. It's great components, great production quality. But if it wasn't Star Wars, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. And then you put Star Wars on, you're like, this is great.
But it's so Star Wars. And I don't think you could put something else on it and have it make it
I think you could, but it would fail, right? Yeah. I was going to say, the only game on my list, I think, right, TI4, you could swap out themes on that. It's just a space political game.
Because because I mean you could.
It's purposely an open universe, which means that you can put a lot of open universes on that.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, these games they just eat it up with their theme.
They nail it. They nail it, and they're really good, and they're really fun. And and for some people, theme doesn't matter.
Sure.
And theme doesn't always matter to me.
To me, yeah.
Like, I'm not going to gripe and play a game and be like, oh, let's just paste it on theme.
Yeah.
But when the theme is good, it's like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I just feel that way about a lot of things, right? Like, I can watch a funny movie, right? But if there's a movie that really, I'm just like, this story, this theme is incredible.
Dig in.
Right? Like, yeah, that's just how I feel like a lot of people...
And some people are big on theme and some people don't care about theme, right? But if you really, really, really just want to chomp down on theme, those are some good...
Yeah.
Good ones.
Check them out. That's 9 games because we had one crossover.
Well, actually, we did 10.
Oh, that was 10 because actually we did 11 because you then brought up Stay Away.
I did.
So, yeah. Stay Away. So, there's 11 games to check out, especially my 5.
Especially the one that crossed over.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, if there was a game that crossed over.
I think I would have recommended any of your games. I love Time Stories. Mm-hmm. I love Twilight Imperium. Obviously, I love Battlestar Galactica. I love Nemesis. What's the other one? What am I forgetting?
There's U-Boot.
U-Boot. I'm dying to play U-Boot. Yeah. Like, I'm dying to play it. So, yeah, I mean, all 5 of yours, I would totally recommend.
All the ones of yours that I've played, I would recommend.
You'll end up playing the other ones because we'll have to. He can't argue. Otherwise, I'll ban him from the show.
Yeah, understandable.
And he'll just come back anyways. But anyways, guys, it has been so nice to be back and get to talk about board games. I'm hoping everybody is healthy. Stay safe. Be smart. Support your game stores, right? Like even when they're not open, a lot of them are doing curbside delivery. I know mine has been. There's been a bunch locally. And even if it's just like a couple of little things, I've been trying to make a point just to scoop something up. Some of it is for myself, like just because I'm like, I gotta get that fixed, man. I gotta get that fixed. But also, man, you want them to open back up. It's not easy, and they are the small businesses. They're not the big ones. So, I'm just dying. I'm chomping at the bit to get back out and get playing games with my friends, getting to do meetups and have big game nights where I can play real heavy, crunchy games, yell in people's faces, throw components at people, as I'm mad at them. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to be back. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming out and being a part of the show. So thanks, guys. Again, be ready. We're going to be back on the regular.
Yep.
And we got a bunch of new stuff coming out. We've got some playthroughs and more reviews, demos, all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned.
Yep. Stay tuned. See you next week.
Keep playing games. Thanks, guys.
See you.
If you like what you saw,
if you want to see us make more content like this,
please hit that thumbs up.
Go ahead and subscribe.
Give us a share on social media.
Remember to ring that little bell. It really helps.
Be sure to check out our unboxing videos.
Don't forget we have reviews.
And also the news show.
Thanks for watching the Board Game Rundown.